Hey folks, it's Avalanche. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing something a little different to usual. As you may have seen from the title and the thumbnail, we're reviewing a boat today. Now, this was sent to me, all kind of cards on the table here by the developer, ADS. You can get this from simmarket, and it's €11, so it's quite cheap. Now, this is exciting because I've seen a few of these around. They've been cropping up now with FSX. They were cool, but the world looked terrible. So, With P3D, with how the actual vehicles themselves look and with how the world looks around it, I'm actually kind of excited to see what this is like. I haven't driven this yet. This is my first time loading it in. I'll go over the details. It's a high quality model as explained in the actual blurb. 8K PBR textures, which is nice. You're not going very fast or going very high, so no problems with performance. Accurate flight model and physics, so water fit model I guess you'd call it here. Wake effect, and the new version adds pilot and passenger models. W-wise sounds, floodlights, panel lights, interior lights, floor lights added. It's got multiple functional buttons, several model and texture improvements, reverse functionality with the Shift P, and you can use third-party add-ons to control that even better. Big wake effect, better rudder control, and it has a horn, which will be kind of cool. So we're going to give this thing a try and see exactly how it performs. So here we are in a speedboat, and as you can see, the world actually looks rather nice from this angle. I must say I'm quite liking it. Just turn my head off for a second whilst we go outside and take a look at what we've got. Now, this is a beautiful Italian kind of cruiser style Riviera. It's a Riva, this model. A marker light there, of course, and we do actually have the usual maritime marker lights on this vessel. I've got to say, the textures are very, very nice. Is there anything in there? No, it just appears to be reflection. But we have two people in here. It's not the default models, which would have been nice, I'll admit. I'd have liked that, but they appear to be static people. Not that you're going to see them much. At least they're well-made static people, apart from the driver, who looks like he's trying to hold in last night's Taco Bell. Yeah. So we've got a nice seating area to the rear. And we have the general seating area to the front and the cockpit. So, really simple in this regard. There's not a huge amount to go over. But what have we got here? Let's take a look down at our buttons. So we have a horn. Ooh. Fuel door, which would be probably at the stern of the vessel. I don't know where the fuel door is. Unless it's inside here somewhere, which is entirely possible. It is not. What does this one do? That was the fuel door. The click spot's a little problematic there, which is okay, but we have covers over all these switches here to help stop getting water on them and splashing. We have a GPS, which is nice and convenient. Floodlights, floor lights, interior lights, beacon lights. I think these are controlled via your aircraft controls. Air conditioner. Wonderful for an open-top boat. I have an air conditioner. It's called Go Fast. So alternator and such are on there. This would be our magneto and starter. So let's go to map mode on the GPS, which is... Oh, me likey. Now, it's not a very big vessel, but you do have a small berth in the front. Or seating area. It's small, but it's not a huge vessel. This is a speedboat. So the fact it even has a bed area and a little place for clothing is quite nice, really. I wouldn't want to spend an overnight in this thing. It's quite compact. So let's turn my head on. There we go. And let's turn over the engine. Fuel is on. Okay, so rudder control is via your rudder pedals here, so it's going to moving here. And we're going to want to head south. So we're going to want to turn around in the inlet here. Rudder control is very sensitive, so you don't need a ton to do a lot really with this. I can just go whee, and it gets a bit silly, but this is bodging a flight model to work as a water model. Now, I'm always nervous about this sort of thing because you think that the water physics in this sim are not very nice at all. As someone who loves float planes, that could be really horrible for me. Let's give this some power. Got a good wake kicking up behind us. That's actually pretty nice as a wake. And we're picking up some speed here. What do the engine sounds sound like? Camera positioning is pretty set to the center, so it can get a little bit odd, but that's not bad actually, sound-wise. Let's turn this around so I can look this way. I'm at full throttle right now, which is giving me 50 knots. That is not bad at all. Let's hit that horn. We're motoring. I like having a horn, it's fantastic. But I will say with this sim, watercraft are a joyous way to really enjoy yourself, and never having really tried this before, this is my first time using a boat in MSFS, and I will say it's not bad. I'm going to just pull back here on my yoke and see if this does anything, and push forward. I get no movement at all. Ailerons do nothing, so the yoke is basically irrelevant to touch right now. I could map the rudder axis to my yoke's roll and actually use the wheel, which would make things very authentic. Now, I'm not getting as much deflection at high speed on the rudder, which is relatively realistic. We'll cut around this headland over here, and we're going to head right in front of us towards Orcas Island, my test location. We're just up the way. I wanted a water airport to start at, so this one was a particularly good destination to use. And oh, with the light splashing in as the clouds separate. That is very nice. A little bit shallow here. Might want to be a little bit more aware. That's a sandbar. Steer off course, off coast a little bit. This is a rather nice experience. I must say I like that. Now, this is daytime. Let's change the time to nighttime and see what it looks like then. Pop our weather up here. We'll not go full nighttime, but we'll go to about... Oh, sunset's pretty. So we have, of course, a head torch, which is part of the sim options, of course. I think I need to actually turn on some of those. Those are floor lights, interior lights, beacon, floodlight, panel lights. Let's put the aircon on, why not? Those don't do anything at the bottom, I don't think. I don't think the side panel opens either. But that is a rather nice visage. We have, of course, a bow light there. Oh, that's pretty. Just looking at this thing is actually really nice. You know what? I'm going to keep it at sunset because this is really pretty. That will be over ahead of us, Orcas Island. So I'm going to steer a little bit to the east. Should be coming up on things. Yep, Orcas Island is right there. So we'll pass by the island just off our bow, and we'll cut round to the side. Maybe this is a kind of a demo flight, I'm not quite sure, because there's not a huge amount to show in a simple review. Do I think this is worth 10 euros? I think it is. I think this is the sort of thing I could really get behind using, just as a fun little thing. Maybe boats are a lot more valuable in this sim than they are in any other, because the atmosphere is lovely. Like, if I had to just go out and potter and relax, I mean, in VR, this would be a wonderful experience. Can I open the... There needs to be a bar. Just imagine sitting in your office, in VR, in a speedboat, with a beverage of choice in hand. That could be a really relaxing experience. Just, you know, put a desk fan in front of you and blast it in your face, and you'll feel like you're on the water. Just have someone sprinkle a little water in it every now and again. You'll feel just great. No, I'm rather enjoying this experience. This is nice. Now, I want to see what it's like to maneuver at lower speeds, so hopefully we can get around the headland here towards Orcus and pull her in there. We're not too far off. Centre that there. We're actually a bit further off than I thought we'd be, but there might be a nice beach up here we can pull into. A nice deserted little beach on an island up here north of Vancouver. Well, no, south of Vancouver. I don't remember. I think we're south of Vancouver. It's still America, yes. We're still in American waters. Yeah, with a sim that looks like this, this is the missing ingredients that boats in FSX didn't have. They worked okay, but the sim just didn't look right. With a sim that looks this good, this is a genuinely nice experience. I could totally get behind this. Let's close the front cabin area. Close that down. Yeah, with a sim that's this pretty, I could get behind this experience quite happily. We're cruising along at 50 knots here at full throttle. Probably a bit more than we'd really want to, burning up the engine, but we're covering quite a bit of distance here in a small boat that really isn't designed for going ham like this. I mean, running it wide open actually is possible. It's much more possible than an aircraft, of course. The engines have a lot more tolerance in them, and if it runs out, it just breaks down and you sit there on the water. You don't sink, hopefully, unless it has major problems. What's the responsiveness like when I want to... I tried to move my yoke then, like a noob. Giving it full deflection on the helm. And it's responding like it would at high speed. The rudder's not going to be as effective at high speed in a boat like this. Because of the way it's going to operate in the water. It's not going to have the same resistance. You'd have to have a bigger rudder. At slow speed, it'll have more effect. And this is also a fairly true response, so... You also wouldn't really want to go full rudder at full flanker head speed in a boat like this. That could get things messy real fast. I'm liking the slight feeling of bumping along here, and I'm not getting into that juddering you get in float planes, because obviously, of course, you're getting that lift and you're getting off the surface a little bit, you're skipping on that weird rocky effect that water has. Oh, this is so gorgeous at sunset. Oh my days, this is the most relaxing review I have ever done. I see signs of life in there. Powering back in. I think I see a house on the shore there. If I throttle back fully, will the weight catch up with me? No, it's not. I was expecting too much there. A little bit of a judder there as I went back to full power. It does say don't apply power too quickly, but I'm doing it because I'm testing. Let's get in towards land here. That wake effect is more than sufficient, I think, given the state of the simulator. This gives a... Oh god, that's gorgeous. Yeah, this is the ingredients, I think, that FSX just never had. The environmentals to support potting around in a boat. Imagine being in St. Bart's or the Caribbean. This would be a stunning experience. I should have reviewed this in California or somewhere really hot like the Bahamas and lovely. It would have been beautiful. Instead, I'm up in cold country up here in Washington. So, yeah. But it's my test environment. It's where I tend to come for a lot of things. I know what the performance levels are around here, and performance right now is fine. I don't feel a single thing. Okay, it's dark, so I need to keep an eye on where the coastline is. That house is going to be my reference point. I'm pretty close here. I'm going to back it down. Feel the nose drop in as we get closer. Let's power off and coast. The coast is actually really reasonably good. Oh, I'm going to beach myself here. It does not appear to like that. Oh. How far on land are we? Quite a bit. We fully beached here. But that's because of flat bottom physics, of course, in this simulator. But we can press Control P. And it'll pull us backwards. It's kind of a little wobbly because it's trying to pull us across the ground and we have no wheels, of course. I'm really enjoying this thing. In terms of what it actually gives you in the sim, for a really cheap price, this is a barrel of fun. And you can tell that love and effort has gone into this model. Like, I don't know the accuracy of the boat model. I'm not a speedboat aficionado. But even look at the steel grills there. Okay, the screws are a little bit simplistic, but... Oh, right, I opened the switch. That's why the fuel cap's off. Okay. That's what that button did. There we go. Close the fuel door. And I'm pretty sure I just saw that turning when I did that, so... Huh. Okay, we should be back on water very soon, I think. It's still pulling us back. That was silly of me, wasn't it, beaching this whole thing? It's struggling to get us onto the actual water. Let's give it a hand, shall we? Oh no, there it goes. And we're actually on the water proper. Okay, nicely done. We'll kill that. Can I maneuver enough here? Full helm. Okay, it's a bit too much at low speeds, but I'll forgive it that because I shouldn't turn that quickly at low throttle. Like with this, I can almost spin on the spot, which is a bit much, but I'll forgive it with how it's bodged the physics to actually operate like this. This brings the whole world into a different scale. Does that make sense? The world feels bigger all of a sudden. Like suddenly we're much smaller, and this whole beautiful environment that the sim gives us with the environmentals and the physics just suddenly feels so pretty. This is nice. Knowing what I know now, boats are something I might actually quite enjoy. And definitely would try to try again in this game. No, it's not an aeroplane. Yes, I'm in a flight sim channel. But it's a boat in flight sim. I think this is fun. For what? 11 euros? It's a beautifully made model. It handles relatively well. It doesn't feel like a real boat. No, it feels close. It's not perfect, but I don't think it could be perfect given the sim and how water behaves in the sim. So for what they had to work with, I think they did a good job. Honestly, I think if this was bad, I would have said so. I like to think you guys respect me enough that I would do that. I enjoy this. This is a fun little distraction. And I think sometimes we take our simming too seriously, and a fun little distraction is exactly what we need. So, this is the Luxury Speedboat by Addy S. I will provide a link to you in the description, and I will be operating this again. This is rather nice. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!